So, given the apartment, or if you know me at all, or if this is the very first video you've ever seen of me, I want to play a little game with you. Where is like the very last place on earth you would ever expect to find me? Is it A, Coachella, B, the moon, C, deep inside of a national park, or D, Burning Man? So one, I don't think we have the rights to the Jeopardy theme song, and two, I don't want to sing the rest of it. The answer, in a way, all of them, but so this was a bad game, and I'm gonna take full responsibility for that. I'm not Alex Trebek, may he rest. The answer is Burning Man. But I want to work a little bit backwards before I talk about Justin Schumann at Burning Man, which is already in and of itself, probably I could just show up and be like, I'm going to Burning Man, and that would be enough of a YouTube video to share because it's an insane concept when you start to know anything about me. But let's back up and talk about why I'm calling 2023 my year of purposeful discomfort and why and how it is culminating at Burning Man. That's me working backwards. Okay, so 2022 started so great, super great year. So mid-year of 2022, three things happened. I went through a breakup, I got COVID for the third time, and the Broadway show that I was in, Tina the Tina Turner musical, closed unexpectedly. That was awful. And since, well, the breakup and Tina closing were things that needed processing, COVID was just like, let's do the thing again. It was hard to sort of grieve, mourn, whatever words you want to use, those things together, because even separately, they would be difficult things to emotionally process. So I would say, to be completely honest, I have spent like a year kind of in recovery mode, although I feel like I've had still what some would call like a banner year, although I would probably disagree. While I've been doing this work, 2022 ultimately largely felt out of my control, and I did not enjoy that. And so as I was thinking about the next year, 2023, I wanted to do something about that. That doing sort of happened when I booked tickets to go to Japan, a trip that, if you are seeing this, you probably know that I've done because I did a whole vlog series right on here that we'll like put in the little corner so you can go watch if you'd like. In October or November-ish of 22, I bought tickets, and I say tickets, but what I mean is a singular solo ticket to Japan where I was gonna go by myself for 2 weeks. And after I did that move, which was so out of character for me and so like wildly different than anything else I've ever done, I realized that this year stood the chance of being this year of purposeful discomfort. Me putting myself into situations that I wouldn't ordinarily for the reason of expansion, of growing, of becoming a person I hadn't been previously, because the second half of 2022 made me a version of myself that I really hadn't been previously, and also one that I wasn't a huge fan of. And so I just wanted to take the power back. So 2023 started with actually a lot of like business goings-ons. I do a lot of consulting. I'm on other social media platforms as well. I was deep into my TikTok moment. I built my business team big. I was like, we're scaling, we're doing the thing. I very quickly realized that things were getting out of hand and that hiring all of these people was not the correct answer necessarily. Immediate discomfort there, which was a little less purposeful, but ultimately just as necessary. And then I started trimming back my team, which was a great piece of learning that I endured. And then in May, I went to Japan, aforementioned, and much talked about on this account. Again, go watch that vlog series. It is a 1 through 8 episode series, and it's like fun if I do say so myself. That chronicles my time while I'm in Japan, bringing you with me, and then one nice big wrap up from this very spot in this very New York City apartment. As I think through the rest of this year, the next sort of big moment that I have is Burning Man. Now, how did that come about? I have two very dear friends, and we had like gently tossed around this idea when I went out on a trip out west, which was like, I suppose, like a tease to the year of purposeful discomfort in the end of 2022 with one of these friends. Her name is Mickey. And we went out west to Montana and did Glacier National Park. Absolutely one of the most beautiful parks I've ever been inside of. And we also met up with our friend Callaway in Moab, Utah, and we maybe talked about, because Callaway had just done Burning Man, we talked about going in 2023. It was purely an idea at that point, and at that moment in time, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I am not going to Burning Man. No way in hell. But the more I heard Callaway talk about it and say how magical it was, and I was like intrigued, and I did a little bit more research, and then eventually I just realized, like, if this is gonna be the year I'm gonna do all these things, like, it feels like the perfect culmination. So I'd say probably 5 or 6 months ago, we said, okay, we're gonna do this. We've been having weekly meetings, more or less, to discuss our living situation, because you are fully in the desert of Nevada. I don't know how much you know about Burning Man, but you could do a quick YouTube search and find a majillion videos on the thing. It is a 90,000 people city that they call Black Rock City in the desert of Nevada, where like in the middle, they call the playa, which is filled with art and sculptures and like movable art and music. And then there's the temple, which is different every year. And then there is, of course, the man. And at the end of the festival, they burn both the temple and the man, which is like, wowie. So we've been meeting to discuss what we're living in, which is called a hexa yurt. No, I also didn't know what it was. It's a 6-sided thing, hexa. And it's like a little tent moment. Yurt. So we've been talking about that. We've been talking about, buying a composting toilet. We've been talking about how we're gonna pack our food. We've been talking about when we're gonna travel out there. It's a massive endeavor. Like I really didn't know just how much went into the planning of the thing, but is a lot. And I'm excited to go. I'm also like a little nervous. The elements are very real out there. It is hot as shit. You're in the desert, so there's like dust everywhere, and you can have these like things that they call whiteouts, which are where the dust just like picks up sort of without any notice, which is why you have to have eye protection with you and some sort of like face mask moment. And so this is now why I go back to like the beginning game that we played. Remember, it was so fun for all of us because like, look at me and then like think about the things I just said. Like super duper hot, all the dust. Like this is not gonna look like this out there because like you take showers like with a buddy system. So like I'm probably not gonna have access to like a blow dryer, my hair product, you know what I mean? Which is not why it's gonna be uncomfortable, right? Like I actually can exist without my creature comforts. I went on a road trip in 2020 where I camped and did the whole thing and like didn't do my hair and didn't shower for 5 or 6 days. Like I can do that. I think what's really out of my comfort zone is the elements, is how long it is, the hours. Like people party till the morning and I'm not really that dude, but I'm sure I will be that dude on a few nights. Also not like totally into drugs, and I know that that's gonna be around me, but I know I'm not gonna feel the pressure to do anything I don't wanna do. It's just gonna be a lot of new and very, very stimulating and unfinished, unpolished, unrefined experience for a person who typically likes to dot his I's and cross his T's. However, something I learned after going to Japan is that this experience that I thought was gonna be so uncomfortable and so expansive, although it was definitely expansive, it was actually amazing. Nothing about my time in Japan was uncomfortable, and in fact, me finding my way, me navigating by myself was empowering, and I came back to New York feeling more independent and stronger than I'd ever felt previously because I crossed the world and done it by myself and navigated for 2 weeks on my own. So I'm also leaving myself open to the idea that Burning Man might be similar. It might be tough, it will be tough, but it might not be the worst, right? There's gonna be so much more good than hard moments, and even some of the hard moments are gonna be some of the best moments, I'm sure. So welcome to, well, we're like mid-year at this point, my year of purposeful discomfort. And I guess I'm curious for you, what would you choose to do? If you said, well, I wanna do something like this, what's the thing that you would choose to do that you know would be uncomfy? Is it go somewhere? Is it be with someone? Is it attend an event you've never been to? Is it? I'm just curious. So if you have something off the top of your head, leave a comment because I would love to know the answer. And a small tease into something that I think I wanna do for y'all. Burning Man is gonna be its own unique journey, and I thought I would document the process just a little bit as I prep for my departure from New York City, and then roughly the 2 weeks I'm gonna be spending in Colorado with Mickey and Callaway as we build our home, cook our food, gather our water. It's giving like hunter-gatherers. And so I figured, why not take you with me like I did to Japan to Burning Man? So from Tokyo to, oh my God, it's so hot. That didn't work at all, but I kind of love it. He's nerdy. So like always, I'm glad you're here. I am so happy that YouTube is a part of my year of purposeful discomfort because I continue to find joy and more comfort in this experience than I did at the very beginning, and we're going to continue to change and innovate and learn because we are. What? human. And if this is our first time spending a moment together, I'm so glad that you're here. And if you are an old friend, I'm glad to have you back. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, watch other videos, enjoy your time while you're here on Planet Justin, and I hope to see you again real soon.